Happy Thursday, everyone. Panda Photographer here, and let's talk about A mount as of 2019. Is it still a good camera system in general for 2019? And let me tell you, as a true A mount fan and A mount shooter, I'm going to tell you, yes, it is. Now, every single image that you have seen me take, not every, but all the images that you have seen me have taken, it's probably mostly with the A77 or A99 cameras, right? But is it good for stills or video? And as a 1080p 60 frames a second content for the A77, A77 Mark II, yes. Now, as you can see, this is my setup. Let me explain the setup before you guys start uh, jumping into my throat about the setup. I using a rig for this close to what a speedlight weight. This whole setup here weighs just as if I'm mounting a speedlight on top of the shoe mount on the camera. So let's get that out the way. Two, why do I have a shutter remote release? So I had this idea on Sunday. I was going to go rollerblading and shoot video, which is rollerblading. You guys have seen it on Facebook, Instagram, and whatever social media that is, that I post photos of me shooting some sports enthusiasts doing rollerblading, aggressive inline rollerblading, by the way. I used to be a professional rollerblader myself, so I don't do it quite as much anymore. But the reason behind the shutter remote release is because I'm using continuous autofocus on the A77. It's not comparable to, like, say, the A6400, which has amazing autofocus tracking and continuous autofocus. But if I combine the shutter remote release with the A77 II and continuous and hold down the shutter button on this controller here, I would have continuous autofocus capabilities because I already have tested it and it works pretty damn well. That is the reason behind the shutter remote release. Two, the back of the LCD screen is not functioning well. The colors are off. I don't even use it, so I'm using the newer F100 to a sponsor by them. So I'm just going to put that out there so you guys know that everything you have seen has been purchased with my own hard money and your guys' donations were donated to the pages below. Thank you guys in the past, present, and future. But anyway, so I also have this long HDMI cable wrapped around the cheese grid handle. And the reason why is that getting anything. Okay, guys, something's wrong with my cell phone provider not adequately giving me the bandwidth that I need to do the live stream. So if it cuts out, I do apologize. As I've explained it before, the reason behind the long HDMI cable is because I want the comfortability. Because sometimes the sharp edges on this handle can be annoying. So when I'm following the rollerblader, I can easily pick it up with one hand and tilt, and easy look at the monitor and the monitor at any eyesight level that I need to view when I'm shooting. So I will mostly shoot this at 18 wide on the Sigma 1835. The reason why the Sigma 1835, this is the A mount version, is because it's good for video and it has great optical performance. End of discussion. Everyone knows if you don't have a 60 a second or 1080p, 30 frames a second. So, and I bet you guys couldn't tell the difference. If I was using A mount, or I wasn't, you probably knew this if I was using Canon, because Canon colors are just magnificent. But now Sony's colors are getting so much better and really comparable to Canons. But yeah, so when I'm actually shooting sports enthusiasts or following them, I'm actually holding this in my left hand, the camera in my right hand, and as I'm tilting, and say if I have rollerblades on my feet, I will follow the person, just so, keep my distance, get low like this, have this monitor tilt so I can see what I'm actually recording, and follow and track as I'm moving along. But, and this is the reason behind also the shutter remote release, is because on my left hand I'm holding that release button and keeping track of the subject. And the reason why, as I said earlier, the reason why is because the auto track system is good, but not as good as the A6400 or A7 III. So, and that's the reason why I have this. But as you can see, not much stress holding on to the shoe mount. This is pretty light, so it's as much weight as the V860 Mark IIs from Godox is. That's a pretty heavy flash speed light, by the way. So imagine. But other than that, if I did have a rig, if you guys want to support the rig, please be my guest and leave a donation to the PayPal donation link. It really does help me out to get a rig. But other than that, I normally would hold it like this if I'm shooting, just B-roll, just like this. But I do have an ND filter, especially on bright sunny days like this in downtown Madison. So we are downtown Madison, and basically everyone's it's going to be a very hot day. It's going to be 90. The index is supposed to be like in the 5, so that's pretty hot and pretty warm today. So I might just get some B-roll today, but I also have a bunch of other camera gear that I, as you can see. I don't know. We have to see. But guys, don't be discouraged. A-mount is still usable camera body. Please, I shoot with it all the time. You can see my amazing long exposures, time lapses with it, micro photography with the Pateron SP90, the Sigma 18-35, the Samyang, the Rokinon lenses, pretty much what I needed to do. Now, my color, now I'm going to tell you this trick. I normally put a color profile on neutral, -2 contrast, -1 saturation, and 0 sharpness, and keep it that way. So, and try to make sure that I do use a gray card when I'm actually doing the video, so, or recording the scene in hand. But other than that, yeah, it's pretty much it. So, welcome to the UW University. So, so we out here, the Panda Photographer. If you guys like the content, like these live streams more, and you want to see more like this, let me know down in the comments below, and I'll get back to you. But let me try to get some B-roll first, and then I will use the EM1's camera, which is the Micro Four Thirds. Actually, I should be using the Micro Four Thirds camera to shoot and document what I'm doing instead of the iPhone, because I'm going to need my iPhone. But other than that, thank you guys for watching. Please support the channel by subscribing, liking, and sharing. And if you guys want to support what I do financially, you can go down to the PayPal donation link down in the description below. It really does help me out, guys. So I do not recommend doing this setup. Take this at your own risk, but this is how I will use it. And you can see there's no stress on the shoe mount whatsoever. So, and it's pretty light. So this whole setup is light. But, yep. Talk to you guys in the next one.